What the hell?
The spec hasn't loaded either.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Wow, now we're actually gonna wait for a spec. Oh, there, everyone's here.
Oh, is this Island? Alright.
Hello, everyone. This is a round 2 RD2L playoff matchup between Queens Park Rangers and Too Bad. With me are some co-casters named. Fuck, what are your names again? Alright, yeah, I have Vuka Pella, captain of User Friendly. Acer, Acer Vanner. Say hello.
What's up?
And guest statsman Chocobo.
Yeah, he's not gonna be talking too much, but it's a pleasure to be here. And we're gonna be joining Queens Park Rangers and Too Bad. They're gonna be fighting off the battle between the East and the West.
Yeah, both these teams have made it to the second round, and they go with a Queens Park Ranger goes with a Slark and Bristleback ban, whereas Too Bad bans out 2 mids, Invoker and Death Prophet, and they go with the Viper first pick. Acer, I know you're a mid player, so how do you feel about the Viper first pick?
It's really bold, actually. He's gonna win his lane, but with Viper, all you have to do is just gank him and get him down low. Just get on top of him.
Mm-hmm. And
but,
yeah, go ahead.
Just picking up Look at that, they can automatically pick up Alchemist and pot him.
Yeah, actually, before this game started, Chocobo had a prediction on the lineup for Too Bad, and so far he did not. He predicted the Mirana, but didn't predict the Alchemist. I think Alchemist is still a top tier support, even with the nerfs. And right now they just go for a 2 heroes that are just very strong on their own, not necessarily counter picks or responses to the Viper. And let's
yeah,
see.
I don't understand a Death Prophet ban this early on in the draft. There's also OD in the pool. So OD is situational now, which is understandable. So if you leave Death Prophet in, if someone first picks Viper like this, you can automatically punish it with Death Prophet pick.
Dire team ban.
So why do you feel like Death Prophet is a counter to Viper?
Radiant team ban.
As a whole, yes, because you could just nuke the waves and sit back, and it's gonna be really hard for Viper to harass you out.
Dire team ban.
I see. And we see a Kunkka ban. That's pretty interesting. Do you think this might be from scouting?
Kunkka's good for anti-push lineups. So if they're thinking Too Bad wants to push up into their base pretty early and maybe pick up some like Furion or anything like that, and maybe a aggro tri-lane, since you will probably see some early rotations coming out of them, then that's maybe a hero they want to ban out.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, it's just that Kunkka a lot of times is run as a mid, so I don't know about the ban since Viper. Well, I mean, I guess you can run him as a carry or Viper as a carry, but both of those heroes aren't very good carries like into the late game. So
I don't know if that's a good decision. Why would you ban Kunkka when there's a Viper? Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe Queens Park Rangers play Kunkka. I've actually seen the last game they played against the Standards. They won 2-1 against them. They didn't play the Kunkka, and it wasn't banned out. I'm kind of surprised. As well, we commented on the Viper pick. That's a surprise for me, but I guess it's you can lane him everywhere. That's the good thing. He can go middle. He can go sort of off lane in a dual lane or an offensive tri lane. So they picked the Windrunner. Is that a Windrunner mid, do you think, or is that a support Windrunner?
I'm not sure, but QPR goes with the Ember Spirit pick, and so far in pro matches, I've only seen him run as a carry, even though in pubs he's run it mid very often. Acer, what do you think how's this shaping up?
Well, it just looks like too bad. They really don't know what Queen Park is going to do right now. Their lineup is super flexible. They can run Windrunner support. They can solo the Windrunner. They can tri-lane Mirana and have her be the farmer. It doesn't really show to be anything right now. They're really just doing reactionary picks, and they haven't really shown a strategy yet. Ember Spirit can be run middle or be farmed up. So far, he does better with levels, so Ember Spirit does better in the mid lane, but by picking up Viper, that really just secures an easy mid lane for him. But that more or less it could be they just wanted to scare off any like strong mid picks, but with the Viper pick themselves, and then maybe force him to pick something that's unorthodox for mid, but then just go ahead and run Ember up there. So it's easier time.
I see. All right. So QPR actually, I mean, Too Bad actually is picking up, yeah, like you said, a super flexible lineup because Alchemist can play every role, Mirana can play every role, and they start to show up. They pick up a Shadow Demon, which is a great setup for the Mirana arrow, and I think this may kind of show what their lanes might be. They might want to put the Shadow Demon with the Mirana. How do you feel about that pick?
This looks like yeah, it is going to be Shadow Demon Alchemist with maybe Mirana to help. Either Mirana can sit in the lane solo while those two run around and gank Viper. Windrunner will be, I guess Wind Ranger will now be going middle for sure. It's decent with the power shot to be able to farm and the evasion factor. I mean, Viper can't really harass Windrunner or Wind Ranger too much yet, and also the Shackle will help them out. Also get ganks on that Viper.
What do you think of offlane Windrunner instead of a mid? They don't have their offlane. Maybe Mirana's offlane?
It's aggro. It's aggro tri-lane with Alchemist and Shadow Demon rotating from top down to middle a lot. That's my guess so far.
Do you think that's gonna succeed? I don't feel Shadow Demon is that good compared to Bane as comboed with Mirana. Like, he can do a lot of damage, but it's really hard to set up at this level, at least. I think so.
It's not with the arrow, it's with the Alchemist. So Alchemist would go in, charge, start his charge up, Shadow Demon immediately disrupt. Viper's illusions will help fight Viper because of the another tox actually going to work against him. His corrosive skin actually is going to work against Viper in that scenario. And then the stun will come in from Alchemist and Wind Ranger will be able there to mop it up.
You mean Mirana?
No, Mirana will just sit in lane while they rotate.
Oh, you're talking about going when they rotate middle.
Yeah, they're going to do a lot of rotations. I can see Mirana going top with the three of them to start. And then those two just running around the map getting kills. Or trying to.
I hope so. I think they need it with these picks. I think they need to make something happen in the early game. They need to start rotating. And that's a good plan. You just said, I hope they execute it fine then.
Yeah, it's a very good plan. Especially because those, illusions will help a lot.
Team ban.
Alright, so they go with the Jakiro. Maybe it's a Ice Path is good at disengaging. Vocapella, what do you think about the QPR draft so far?
I don't particularly like their choice of supports. They have sort of two defensive supports. I guess if Ember Spirit is going safe lane, maybe they need someone to babysit him, but I think that's overkill. The rotations aren't going to be so strong with these two heroes. Like, Jakiro is a really strong defensive support, and Rubik is an okay-ish support to gank, but he really needs another offensive support to be really effective. So I think they'll struggle if Too Bad decides to take the game early and start rotating early on.
And Too Bad bans the Bounty Hunter, anticipating that they're missing an offlaner. What do you think would fit their lineup, the lineup for QPR if Bounty Hunter is removed?
5 seconds remaining.
Either one of you.
It's going to be Clock. Clock fits in very well with their lineup with this huge. It looks like they're going for dominant mid game, especially with the Ember Spirit and the Viper. They're going to end this game right then and there. They're not going to let it go late. But the thing is, Too Bad's lining up for a mid game battle as well. Yeah. So I think that's where this is where it's going to be the huge fight. It's just in this mid game. There's no real late game for either team. Alchemist can transition over time, but that's super late. At the same time, Ember Spirit will be huge. So Too Bad can't let it go super late, and QPR's lineup at the same time is, hey, early game you may have the advantage, but as soon as we transition in and get those levels up, like if your ganks fail, we're gonna punish that. We're really gonna punish it.
I think Too Bad's lineup is actually missing a carry, or somebody a solo safe lane, or as you predicted. but QPR opts to ban the Puck, which was odd. But they go with the Juggernaut.
Dire team pick.
Does this change the way you think they're gonna lane?
I think they're predicting a clock pick or some melee offlane, which I think a solo Juggernaut would still be fine. If I was QPR, I'd be considering a Nyx or Clockwork for their last pick, and you could still throw them down in the offlane solo and Juggernaut. If they see this melee offlane, Juggernaut can still go solo it. But if they do see something else, Furion, any ranged form to be able to harass Juggernaut out, they're gonna have to react. It's gonna have to be a solo Mirana and then Alchemist Shadow Demon bottom with the Juggernaut, which I think really.
They go with the Timber Saw. Vukapel, how do you? Does your opinion of QPR's lineup still stand?
I'm sort of
because that's pretty aggressive.
Acer's opinion, I think a Clockwork would have fitted better. I mean, they can both jump in and out of battle with Ember Spirit, and that would have been, I think, powerful. So I don't know, Timbersaw, they have an Alchemist, he's a strength hero, he can be bursted down. I think you need burst in that ultimate form for him in the Chemical Rage, but I don't feel particularly well. If they're defensive tri-laning against that Timbersaw, they should have no problem harassing him out of the lane. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So Acer, would you like to introduce the Radiant?
Yeah, we have on Halen, we have him taking up Windrunner. Looks like he might be going middle. We're not sure yet. We also have Slammy on the offlane Mirana. We'll see if that's going to be a try-in up there or not. So far, they're rotating up, maybe for First Blood. Who knows? We have Spray Raid on the Alchemist support, going up with Sentries and Smoke. And we have Juggernaut actually heading towards the mid lane on KD is not nice, so we'll see how that goes. And also, we have Tank on the Shadow Demon heading up top as well.
All right. Vukapella, would you like to introduce the Dire?
Absolutely. We have PDD on the Viper. He's going middle, as predicted, I guess. We have the safe lane Farmer, Ember Spirit as Loki. The offlane Timbersaw, Spazzy, the professional, I believe. DNT Inferno. I think this is the guy who I actually watched play Rubik, and he's quite good, so we have to keep an eye on him. He's playing Rubik again. They like that hero, I guess. And then we have I Did Your Dad as their second support on Jakiro.
Alright, so looks like Acer was correct predicting this aggressive tri-lane, but Too Bad has sent 3 heroes top. How do you feel about Juggernaut mid?
I feel like that was a reaction. Hey, you know, like, there's a Timbersaw. We didn't expect that. Maybe they were thinking another melee that Juggernaut could handle in the safe lane. But I agree that you cannot send Juggernaut versus Timbersaw. Windrunner is a much better choice on that. They're going to have to gank a lot to help them out. The spin will help again with those ganks, but we'll see.
So how do you think Juggernaut fares against a Viper, though?
He's going to sit back. He's going to use his spin to get some last hits. He's going to try to rush that bottle up, and hopefully the ganks come through.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's fucked.
Although the ganks do work really well, and we see P. Diddy dishing out a lot of harass on KD. Although nobody got last hits in that wave. Well, KD didn't get any last hits. Anyway, top lane, where we expect a lot of action, tri-lane on tri-lane going on. Who do you think has the advantage here, Vukapella?
I'd say the aggressive tri-lane, but then again, it's very risky to go into that. And kind of Shadow Demon, he needs to be careful with his disruptions, because if he stacks it while a stun is active, that's gonna ruin the whole initiation. So he needs to be really careful, and they need to plan out how they're gonna engage this situation.
Okay. Well, Acer, since you're the off-lane extraordinaire, who wins the bottom lane?
Windrunner should win that.
Yeah.
But that's a missed arrow.
I think it's pretty close, though. I mean, I think it could be pretty close, because you can't really kill the Timbersaw.
You should be able to power shot him out of the lane. Get a shackle, power shot. Don't let him get too much early farm. But he's not doing too well zoning him out right now when his reactive armor isn't very high.
Yeah. Once he gets level 2 reactive armor, you just start using the creeps to trigger it up to that high armor status. Get that regen, it's really hard to zone him out of lane.
Windrunner's attack animation is just so strong.
Yeah. But Spaz